From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Rogers Communications says the rollout of satellite-to-mobile capability is happening way ahead of schedule.
Rogers says the service is a way to stay connected in areas where traditional cell coverage is not available, like along rural highways. Rogers Satellite currently operates through a partnership with SpaceX by Elon Musk. The satellites combine with Rogers' wireless network to automatically connect cell phones in areas without cell service. This month's launch allowed customers to use apps like Google Maps, AccuWeather, and X through Rogers Satellite, and traditional cell phone calls should be coming next year. Bell Canada also says it will deliver direct-to-cell satellite service, but in late 2026. Naira Ahmed, The Canadian Press.
Extreme cold and heavy snow remains in the forecast for the Yukon. Environment Canada says another wintry weather front is expected to blow through that region Sunday into Monday as well. Parts of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba are still a mixed bag of frigid temperatures, steady snowfall, and even some fog near the U.S. border. Central Ontario, meantime, is under a winter storm watch, while Toronto and Montreal have special weather statements for freezing rain. And finally, Newfoundland and Labrador's coastlines continue to be inundated with heavy blowing snow. Federal Indigenous Services Minister Mandy Gulmasti says she sees her cabinet role as a path to progress.
One question loomed over her appointment. Why would a Cree woman want to administer the Indian Act when another First Nations woman before her turned down the role? Former Cabinet Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould turned down the post when offered it by former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. She would have had to administer programs under the Indian Act after opposing that legislation throughout her career. Mandy Gulmasti says she was willing to take the risk, even as some said the government was setting her up for failure. Some 200 days into the job, Gulmasti says it's given her a new outlook and responsibility to the communities she works with daily. Jason White, The Canadian Press.
And finally, the last of the Dion quintuplets has died. The Dion Quints Museum in North Bay, Ontario, says in a social media post that Annette Dion died on Christmas Eve at the age of 91. Here's Canadian Press reporter Lisa Laporte.
Dion and her four sisters became a global sensation as the first quintuplets known to survive past infancy. The Ontario government took the Quints from their parents when they were just months old and put them on display in a nursery-style exhibition. Millions of tourists lined up to observe the girls through one-way glass.
The provincial government apologized to the sisters in 1998 and issued a $4 million settlement for the years they spent living on display. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, starting off in Minnesota, where Tija Ginla scored the go-ahead goal in the third period as Canada opened the World Junior Championship with a nervy 7-5 victory over Czechia. It'll be a quick turnaround, too, with the team's second game set for this afternoon against Latvia. Meanwhile, the defending champion United States opened up its World Junior Champion campaign with a 6-3 victory over Germany. The U.S. will play Switzerland later today. The NHL will be back in action after its holiday break with the Leafs, Sens, Oilers, Flames, Jets, and Canucks all hitting the ice. Montreal is getting an extended bit of downtime as they don't return until Sunday. And finally in the NBA, the last-place Washington Wizards whipped the visiting Toronto Raptors 138-117. Brandon Ingram scoring 29 points and 6 rebounds for the Raptors, who trailed 102-100 heading into the final quarter. And stay tuned as we will announce the Canadian Press's Male Athlete of the Year for 2025 later this morning. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.